Shout out Q. Shout out Q.
John Handley High School, John Handley judges volleyball this season right around the corner. Senior joining me, Elly Licklider. Thank you for your time, first and foremost. How's it feel getting back out on the volleyball court?
It feels really good. I'm super excited for my last season, really just trying to go out with a bang.
What stands out early on about getting back together with your teammates and maybe some new team members coming into this team? What stands out so far early on?
I think really, honestly, our teamwork, we've honestly been working really hard recently, and not only are we being serious, but we're having fun while we're practicing, so I think that's going to transfer really well to the court when we play. We have a super good bond of trust, but we're also going to try to do really good.
You mentioned having fun, well, putting the work in.
Yeah.
You make it sound like you can get the work in and still have fun, and it's just not like a grind that you're dreading. How huge is that you're adding that element of fun, keeping that positivity upbeat and encouraging?
It's honestly, it really helps make the game even better. I don't know, if we didn't have that, it really would be a whole different game, I think, for everyone, honestly, on the team.
So take me through off season, because I know volleyball, the off season can be a multitude of different things. What do you do during your off season to sort of get better to come into your high school season and your senior year?
Well, for summer workouts, we do things like fast, and then we come in here twice a week for open gyms. We really just try to work together, honestly, to help our relationship and connection on the court.
You mentioned relationship and connections, and I know you probably have some team members that were on the team last year with you, but for some of the newer girls coming up through this program, how huge is it trying to establish that bond, that connection, that trust early in the season instead of later on?
Yeah, it's really important for us, especially because, like I said earlier, I think we rely on trust a lot on the court, so it's almost like an immediate, very welcoming place for everyone who comes in here, and we just really try to, really just bring everyone in as well as we can.
Absolutely. So just your senior year, I know there are probably a lot of emotions that come with that, but what are you looking forward to most as you're entering into your senior year of volleyball?
I really am just looking forward to trying to do really good this season on the court. Like I said, really want to go out with a bang, so I'm hoping the season's really good, we improve our record, and we're just successful.
And I know just overall, the Northwestern District, it seems like a lot of tough competition when it comes to volleyball. And I've experienced last year how the competition is so good. What's it like just playing in this area?
It's really competitive. It's really good gameplay. I mean, I don't think there's really anywhere else you can get this good of gameplay. You're up against great teams, and it's making you better as you're playing with them.
And tell us maybe one thing for anybody watching, why they should come out and watch a John Handley volleyball game.
It looks like we're having fun on the court. It's not a slow pace. We're smiling, we're laughing. Not only are we playing an awesome sport to watch, but we look like we're enjoying it, and we're having so much fun while playing.
Elly, really appreciate your time, and best of luck to you this season.
Thank you.
Now joining me, Sadie Bailey, a junior member of the John Handley Judges volleyball team. Sadie, thank you for your time. And how's it feel getting back out on the volleyball court?
Feels really good. I'm really excited for this upcoming season. We're working really hard, and I think it's going to be a great season this year.
The hard work that they've discussed earlier in my interviews, it just seems like you'll have a great connection so early on. I asked this to Elly. I'll ask to you as well. What's that like, having a good connection so early on?
Like Elly said before, it's just very important to have that connection with everybody, because it kind of gets the flow going of the game of volleyball and really helps you get better as individuals and makes you come together as a really good team.
And you mentioned the flow of volleyball. This is a very fast-paced sport, and you have to be at your best at certain times. How huge is that, getting that flow early on instead of later on in the season?
It's really important to kind of get that flow really early on so that you can kind of have a easier season as a team, and you can learn more as you go on and not having to stop periodically and have to work on something. You can kind of just dive into it and be great as you do it.
So take me through the off season. I know a lot of different volleyball players go through certain off-season routines. They keep playing. They do a lot of different stuff. What was your off-season like?
Our off season was like going to fast twice a week and then going to open gyms, and we'd set little goals as we'd go along throughout the summer and off season, which really helped us improve individually and as a team altogether.
And how huge is that you're going through the off season as a team, not just individually? So when it comes to the season, you're familiar with everybody before the preseason and early season camp is even underway.
It's even better when you're able to start early on with each other. Like I said before, it's very important to do that so that the flow of volleyball and the game of it can really start early and kind of get to each other at that early start, so that you're used to each other, you're used to seeing your friends, and you're able to just play the game.
Absolutely. So last but not least, what's one thing you're looking forward to most out of this competitive volleyball season coming up?
I'm looking forward to coming out on top each time and just going out with a bang each game, and just really coming back this season as being the underdog of the district and really coming out on top.
Sadie, really appreciate your time. Best of luck to you this season.
Thank you.
Now joining me, Breeze Johnson, Handley Volleyball right around the corner. Breeze, how does it feel going into your sophomore season?
It feels great. I'm super excited for what the season has to come, and our team dynamic has been great, so I know it's going to be great.
Everybody's been telling me how connected you are so early on. As a sophomore, I know, speaking to a junior and a senior on the team, how huge is that, having the connection with them? Sort of, I know you're a sophomore, and sort of if you have questions about anything here or there, they're sort of like there to guide you and help you along the way.
Yeah, definitely. It's really big. I remember when I came in, these girls were so welcoming to me, so it's like I want to do the same for the upcoming new players because they were amazing.
Off season, you all were together working through fast 2 days a week in the gym. How huge is that in your mind, just the togetherness of this team before even getting to this point?
Yeah, definitely. It's super big. Like, we need that. Like, we were already such a close team without being together for that long. And, like, those other additions like fast and open gyms, it just brings us so much closer together.
So with that, you just wrapped up a practice. I could hear some competitive vibes, but still having some fun. I know they mentioned you like to have fun during practice as well, sort of get your work in, but have fun while doing it. How huge is that you can add a level of fun while getting your work in?
Yes, that is so important, like so important. I couldn't exaggerate that enough. Like, obviously you want to have that competitiveness. You want to win, but winning's it's not always that. There's so much more to volleyball, and being a team is just, I think it's the biggest thing ever.
So just take me through maybe after last season, what maybe the team collectively is sort of working on to sort of get better going into this season, if there's anything that you've pinpointed.
Obviously improving our record from last year, definitely, but we need to take one game at a time, go one game at a time. Obviously we want to get to the national championship. We want to improve on that, but keeping a steady goals, not shooting up super high all the time, just aim little and then keep going up.
Absolutely. So with that hard work that the team's putting in so early, and you have volleyball right around the corner, how huge is that with the energy of this team and this group as you get ready for scrimmages in the regular season?
Yes, we're definitely working super hard in practice, every single one of us, welcoming our new teammates, doing everything we can to bring us together and make us go up, only up from here.
What's one thing you're looking forward to most as we get ready to start another competitive volleyball season in the area?
I'm ready for the hype around the game this year. It can only go up from here. We had such an amazing crowd last year, and I hope it can only go up and we can hype ourselves up and keep going.
Breeze, really appreciate your time with me. Best of luck to you this season.
Thank you.
Now joining me, the head coach of the John Handley Judges volleyball team, Kristen Larson. And Coach, I know it's early on, but the season's here. Happy New Year.
Thank you. We're looking forward to a very competitive season this year.
Speaking to your players, it just seems like the energy and the enthusiasm is there. In I don't believe you've had even a scrimmage yet.
No, our first scrimmage will be this Thursday against John Champ. They will be coming here, and then next week we go to Jefferson and scrimmage them.
How's that feel, though? Your players are just so into it, ready to get this season started, and it seems like the energy is high so early before the start of scrimmages even.
I agree. They have worked very hard all summer and in the off season. We started open gyms after spring break, so we had, I think, 16 or 17 open gyms. They've been at FAST doing strength and conditioning work there, and our gym is full, and they are eager, and they are all just ready to play.
With that, because the girls mentioned the fast aspect in getting into the gym twice a week, doing that together with, I don't have the number of how many newcomers you have coming up to your program, but being all together that early before you even get to this point, how huge is that for you and the staff?
Well, I think it just builds a lot of camaraderie and a lot of connections with the girls, the setters to the hitters, the defenders to the setters, and they know each other and they know how to help each other. And that's the big thing is when one is struggling, there are two more to help pick her back up. And when one is doing great, they're all there rallying around her, just as excited for her as they should be. So they are a really good, cohesive, no drama team, and I couldn't ask for anything better.
And how huge is that when that translates to on the court with the amount of connection they have this early on?
Absolutely. So many of the girls on our team have played club, and they play club together in one aspect or another. A lot of them have come off of the sand courts this summer, so we have a ton of players that just got more and more touches on the ball. They played with different partners. They were just constantly being mixed up and going from one person to another. As far as learning how to connect with each individual teammate has been a huge thing. So we're really, really pleased with what we've seen coming in from the summer.
So with the off season and maybe some girls doing some other stuff, you mentioned the sand aspect. Does that sort of change anything from the sand to the court? I mean, I know these girls know how to play volleyball, but there's a clear difference in service and just stuff like that, and travel ball even on a court. Just the different sort of activities and games and stuff you can do. What's that like, and how does that help when it translates back into Handley volleyball?
So just the amount of touches that they get in an indoor club season, we calculated it out to be at about 100 extra hours of practice just with indoor. And that's excluding tournaments that are often 2 and 3 day tournaments. And in the sand, for the 12 weeks or so that they are in the sand, that's another 4 hours a week of sand practice. And add that to the tournaments, it adds up to a lot of touches and a lot of more gameplay. As far as translation from one to the other, sometimes the girls have to play different roles. They might be an outside hitter in their club team, and they might be a middle hitter for us. They might set on their club team, and they might be a libero, defender for us. So I think it just gives them a more well-rounded perspective of the game, not to be just one specific spot where that's the only place that they can play. And the sand does that a lot too. The sand gives them a lot more strategic thinking, I believe, and that can translate very nicely onto the court too. So we're asking them to do a lot of different things as far as not just play, but thinking about what's the best option, where's the best place to put this, who's the best person to serve to, who's the best person to set to, what are my blockers doing on the other side. And all of those extra hours in the gym and on the beach and coming to our open gyms and doing all of that just adds to their kind of library of what they are able to do. And it has given them more things to look at and just more experience.
So let's shift on the court. I know you've only been at so many practices early on in the season. What stands out to you as a coach so far about your group this year?
They're all very steady players. I feel like we've got, of course, a couple swings, big swingers with Breeze and Sadie Bailey, and another sophomore, Paige Boone, and a couple other girls. Tenley Madison is with us this year. She'll be in our middle position, and she's got kind of a cannon on her too in the middle. So we've got those great hitters, but we also have probably the best class of passers that I've ever seen in the 7 years that I've been here. They're just very steady, and they work well with each other, and they cover, like I said before, they cover for each other, and there's not really a weak link, which we've not really had before. So I just feel like we're a very balanced team, the most balanced that I've had, and this will be my 4th year of varsity level. So
I don't really know that much about volleyball, but it sounds like not a lot of work in terms of adjusting everything because of how well balanced your team is. Am I on the right track?
Absolutely. They just can be, they're very fluid from one place to another, and that's kind of the coach's dream. Like, you can put this kid in an outside, and you can put that kid in at setter, and you can flip them for the next set if you need to. And the fluidity, it just helps, and they are all very competent. They all know where they're supposed to be. They all know how to play defense. They all know what the rotations are, and it kind of takes that aspect out of it. And I don't have to coach that side of it. I can work more on the technical and the strategic side of it, and just work on them passing more volleyballs and hitting more volleyballs, and not worrying about who's in what position and how to rotate and all of that kind of stuff. So
Sounds pretty good. So looking ahead, I know most coaches don't like to do that, but the 2 scrimmages coming up, what do you sort of take away from getting your team reps against another school in a game that really doesn't count?
So that will be kind of hammering out what we feel is maybe our best rotation and our best options as to who should be exactly where on the court, but that's always very flexible. It's also giving some reps to some kids that we need to see, because maybe this is their first time on varsity and it's their first time playing against seniors when they're only sophomores or freshmen. So it's kind of hammering out the little nitty-gritty details, but it's also allowing us to give them some options and some reps in a place that they haven't really experienced yet before, because we have a couple newbies to the varsity squad, so we're going to try to not throw them to the wolves quite all at once.
Well, I would imagine that's good, but at the same time, you have older players that can help them tremendously if needed.
Absolutely. My 2 seniors that have been with me since their freshman year, they started on varsity as sophomores, Kinley and Elly, who you interviewed as well. They have really stepped up their leadership, and they're what you want in a senior captain. They're quiet leaders, but the girls know that they can go to them. They know that they can trust them. They lead by example more than anything else. And then, of course, we've got a bunch of juniors this year. There's 6 juniors on the squad who have all got some great experience. And then our 3 sophomores are really they're very experienced because they've done it all. They've done beach and indoor at pretty high levels already. And then we have 1 lone freshman on varsity, and she just is a workhorse, and we're excited to see what she's going to do this year.
And you mentioned Tenley coming over from James Wood. How huge is that, adding her to the squad?
I think it has kind of filled a hole that we have struggled with in the past, and I think it's good for the younger kids and the less experienced kids to see somebody who has played at also very high levels, club and state championship games. So she is a great kid to watch, and she's been a great addition, and she seems to have just kind of meshed right in with everybody really nicely. So I'm excited for that, and I think her experience will help the ones that might not have been as experienced in that particular position too. She can also hit just about anywhere on the court. As far as she doesn't have to be in the middle, she can hit on both pins, and we may be using her there too. So we'll give her a chance to show us what she's got on those.
So take me through, Coach, your 4th year here as the head coach, going into another season right around the corner. What stands out to you about playing in what I believe is a very competitive Northwestern district?
Absolutely. I think we have some of the highest level volleyball in the state in this area. Loudoun County always makes a good push, but they're kind of a different demographic and just they're just different because they're Loudoun County. But in our immediate district, in our immediate area, our county, just the 3 county schools and us, I think there's going to be a lot of barn burners. I think these games are going to go 4 and 5 sets apiece. We have always, traditionally, we have been working hard for the last couple of years to kind of build this program because we didn't have a particularly strong program for the last, previous years. So we've been working really hard, the coaches and myself and the athletic directors, to get this to where we want it to be, and we're right there. And I think we're finally at a point where we're very competitive with the other teams. And I think it surprised some people last year. I don't think it's going to surprise people this year. I think they know what we've been doing in our gym. Of course, I know all of the other coaches, and they have equally talented teams. These 4 teams, James Wood, Millbrook, Shenandoah, and ourselves, have some real depth in their rosters and real depth in their hitters and passers and setters and everybody in between. And we have a lot of options at each of those schools. And I think it's just going to be, I think we're going to beat each other up in some sense, but it makes for exciting volleyball.
And just in terms of the regular season schedule, I know you're probably not all the way there yet, but what do you like out of your schedule?
I think we've got a good balance of some games that we can get a lot of kids playing time in, and games that are going to push us and push our limits in a very good way. I think, it's good to have some of those, little successes, and also some that are going to really show us how much grit we have and what we've got. So I think it's a good balance.
Handley Volleyball right around the corner, joined by 4th-year head coach of the girls volleyball team, Kristen Larson. Appreciate you having us out, Coach, and best of luck to you this season.
Thank you for coming and celebrating our kids.